Hey student, watch this video if you have questions about present perfect or if you want to learn present perfect in English. Coming up. Hey friends, Teacher Prix here to help you talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime in English. Thank you so much for joining me on another video. And if it's your first time here, consider subscribing. From Monday to Friday, I post English lessons of all subjects: phrasal verbs, expressions, vocabulary, grammar, listening tips, reading tips, pronunciation, general tips, all kinds of lessons to make you a better and more confident English speaker. So consider subscribing. Anyways, my friends, let's get down to business because today I got a lot of stuff to tell you. Well, you guys requested a present perfect lesson. I had been planning on making a present perfect lesson. I've been planning this forever. So I decided that it was time to get this over with, okay? So because there's a lot of information when it comes to present perfect, I'm gonna be dividing this video into 3, maybe 4 parts. It depends on my mood and it depends on how many likes I get. If you are curious to learn more about present perfect, if this is something you definitely want to learn more and study more, hit the like button because that way I will understand that you enjoy this kind of lesson and that you want to learn more about present perfect, because believe me, there's a lot of information for me to share with you. Excellent, guys. So let's get down to business. What is present perfect? Basically, it's a conjugation, okay? Like past, future, present continuous. Conjugation. It's a tense in English, okay? So this is basically what you need to know. But the next question is, well, Priscilla, it's a conjugation, so when do I use this conjugation, my friend? Well, this is when things get a little confusing because depending on your language, you may not have, or well, you may have, but you may not use this conjugation. Okay, so you will use present perfect when you want to describe an activity. Pay attention because this is important. You want to describe an activity that happened in the past, but for some reason there is a consequence in your present, okay, and possibly in your future. So this past event has some kind of consequence in your present and possibly your future. So this action is started in the past. Okay, let me even go here, and this action started in the past and may have a consequence in your present and in your future, especially your present, okay? Very nice. If you have questions, you can post the questions. I will read them because this is going to help me prepare more present perfect lessons, okay? Now, as I said, it may have a consequence. It's a possibility. It's possible, all right? Many English learners do not understand that part. So this past activity may have a consequence in your present and future. It's possible, it's likely, doesn't mean it's gonna have, okay? But I'll show you more. I'm just giving you the theory for now. Moving on. And okay, a very important part of present perfect is the difference is, oh, but teacher, if you're telling me that I use present perfect to describe something that happened in the past, why can't I just use simple past? Duh. Well, I will make a video to talk more about that. But a big difference between present perfect and simple past is that if I want to use present perfect, I can never, British accent, never, I can never mention a specific time, a fixed time, a finished time. For example, yesterday, it's finished. I cannot use that with present perfect. Last week, last week is finished. I cannot. It's a fixed time expression. Anything, any expression that indicates to me, okay, any phrase, any expression of time that indicates a period that is concluded, that's finished, you will not be able to use present perfect with. Okay, so this is a very important aspect of present perfect that you need to understand. So you can never use present perfect with expressions that indicate finished times, okay, finished periods of time. All right, so if you need to do that, if it's important for you to express a finished period of time, then you have to use simple past. You cannot use present perfect. Okay. But teacher, before I go to the structure, did you hit the like button? Hey, I know you support the channel. You can hit the like button. And by the way, more than 50% of people, I think 60%, 50 something of people who watch my videos and share my lessons are not subscribed. Come on, friends, join this beautiful community of English learners. Subscribe to my channel and never miss a lesson. Anyways, moving on. Oh yeah, I was gonna say that. Do native speakers use present perfect? Uh-huh, they do. If a teacher comes to you and says, hey, they don't use it, bullshit. Oh my god, I said something bad. I cannot say that in my videos. Well, that's a load of crap. Well, since I already said something bad, let's just finish it up. Native speakers use it, okay? It's subtle, but they do. And it's important that you understand, because there are some ideas that if you want to express in English, you should use present perfect to do so. Okay, now let's move on to present perfect and its structure. There's a lot of information to share, but I'm summarizing. This is the first video of present perfect where I explain the structure. Basically, to build the structure of present perfect, you will need have and has. If you studied simple present, you learn that have is a verb and indicates possession. I have a channel. Hello. Yes, I have a YouTube channel. You have many things. You know, you have a name, you have a house, you have a job, or you don't have a job. And has is for he, she, it, or any pronoun or subject in the singular. My sister has a dog. You know, she doesn't have a dog, but I imagine she has a dog. Okay, so I use have and has. But here, have and has are not verbs. Forget that. They are special. They are auxiliary verbs. What is an auxiliary verb? I'm giving you the name, but let me put this into a more practical explanation. Have and has will become assistants. To make a structure of present perfect, you need these guys. They are the helpers. They're gonna help you make a present perfect sentence, okay? And they are not indicating possession anymore. They're just helping, all right? Forget about the translation of have and has. They are just helping you make the present perfect structure. In Portuguese, for example, when we translate, a good translator, when we translate the phrase, a present perfect phrase to Portuguese, we sometimes translate a simple past because we cannot be literal, okay? So forget, don't worry about the translation of have and has. They are helping you make the present perfect tense, okay? Now, each pronoun, each subject will have its present perfect helper, have or has. So for I, you, we, you, they, or any word in the plural, any subject in the plural, you will need the word have. You will need the helper have. So I have, you have, he, she, it has. And remember, he, she, it are the pronouns, but you can have other words representing the pronouns he, she, it. Peter has. Jamie has. The dog, one dog? Okay, so it's singular. The dog has. The house has. The hospital has. A situation, traveling abroad has. So with present perfect, you will use has for any subject in the singular, the third person in the singular form. All the other guys will use have, and remember, here it's just a helper. Forget the translation of the verb have and has that you have learned. Okay, see, I just used present perfect. Moving on. Now, The next part of your structure is very simple. After you use have, you use a pronoun, okay, a person, a subject, I, you, the teacher, the dog, the house, the bill. Then you will need have or has. After that, you need the verb, the action of your sentence. If you don't have a verb, then you don't have a sentence, basically. Here it's a little different. Until now, you learned present and you learned past. So, for example, the past of go is went. Now, with present perfect, you cannot use simple past, you cannot use the base form, you are gonna use the past participle form. Yay! New kind of conjugation. Well, you do not use simple past, okay? It's past participle. So here, go in the past is went, in the participle, it's gone. Buy in the past is bought. And hey, in the past participle, it's bought. Sometimes the verbs will repeat their conjugations from the simple past. Yeah, this is good. And one piece of good news. If your verb is regular, travel, study, try, then when you're using the past participle form, it's regular. So you maintain the same conjugation, the same spelling. Okay, so need in the past is needed. In the past participle, needed. Again, you repeat. Only with the irregular verbs, you are gonna need to worry about learning the conjugations, the past participle forms. Okay? Very well. If you're having problems, please let me know. If you are watching the replay, make sure to post in the comments, because then I will make a second video giving more explanations. I can answer your questions, all right? This is pretty much a standard explanation that I give to my private students. Any student I have that will need to learn present perfect gets this explanation. So hey, hit the like button if you're enjoying this lesson. Moving on, my friends. So far, you learned that you need a pronoun, a subject, I, you, he. Then you will need have or has, okay? After that, you need a verb, and this verb will have the past participle form. After the verb, my friend, good luck. Complete the phrase. Any important word that is relevant to finish your sentence. Chill, keep it up. So here I have an example. I have been to the USA. Now, if you pay attention, I don't give you a fixed time expression. I don't tell you when, but because it's present perfect, you can understand that it's a past situation, okay? I did this in the past, but I don't tell you when. It's not important for me to tell you when. I'm more focused on telling you this experience, and this experience has a consequence in my present. No one can take that away from me. I have been to America, yay! I have experiences, I have worked there, I have lived there, I have studied there, I have done many things in the United States, I have made many friends, I have gone to Harvard, I have done many things in the United States. So all of these examples, they were in the present perfect. They are talking about past experiences that started in the past and have a possible consequence in my present and probably my future. Okay? Now, you have subscribed to my channel. I don't know when you did, but I know you did, right? And if you haven't already, subscribe, because then you will get notified about all the lessons that I post from Monday to Friday. And here I have more examples with the different pronouns. The dog, it. The dog has run away. Oh, but teacher, run is the base form. Well, run is the base form. In the past, it's ran. And in the past participle, hey, you say run again. How awesome is that? So guys, when it comes to the past participle conjugation, I don't have many rules to tell you, okay? Some verbs will change completely, some verbs will remain the same. Some verbs will copy the past conjugation, some verbs will copy the base form conjugation as run, for example. So the best way for you to learn that is by studying case by case, making short lists of verbs that are relevant to you and study them. That's how I memorized the verbs in the past participle. I started with verbs that were very important for me, and then I kept going. I kept increasing my list. When I learn a new verb, a new phrasal verb, for example, I need to check the past participle because I don't know. Maybe it's a different verb. I don't know if it's regular, if it's irregular. So it's a learning, it's a process. So every time I learn a new verb, I have to check if it's regular, if it's irregular. If it's regular, ed, awesome, because the past participle just repeats the regular the regular conjugation. If it's an irregular verb, then I have to pay attention and I need to check it out. Okay? Awesome. Moving on. Negative sentences. Well, you learned that you need an auxiliary verb, have or has. The negative form in the present perfect is very easy. Basically, you just need to add the word not next to have or has. So have not, has not. But we know native speakers contract everything. They are not going to say I have not. They can, they may, okay? But they contract a lot. They abbreviate very often. So here you can say haven't or hasn't. Repeat, haven't, hasn't. So this is the contracted form. These are the contracted forms for have not and has not. And here I have in the chart some examples, the same examples, but now in the negative form. I have not, I haven't been to the USA. The dog hasn't run away. Okay? Awesome. You can post some examples in the chat as well. Moving on. Now, if I want to ask yes and no questions, it's possible. Interrogative sentences. Now, in part 2 of this video, I will talk more about W8 question words, okay? Specific questions. This is just a yes or no question. For example, I look at you and I say, hey, have you been to the USA? Let me know in the comments. Yes? No? Yes, teacher, I have been to the US. No, teacher, I haven't been to the US. So this is a yes or no question. How do you do it? You just invert the position between have and has and the pronoun and the subject. So I have is affirmative. Have I is a question. You have, affirmative. Have you, question. She has, affirmative. Has she, question. We have, affirmative. Have we, question. But remember, this is just a yes or no question. Okay? In the next video, I'm going to talk about W8 question words and a little bit of the structure and other important aspects of present perfect. Awesome, my friends. Today, the homework is very simple. I want to know if you have questions about present perfect. You can post in the comments. Right now in the chat, I'm not really reading it, but come back, watch the replay, take notes. The best way to learn from a video is by taking notes, really paying attention to the information. So come back and post your questions because I can answer them. Next week, I don't think I'm going to make the second part because I still have to talk about conditionals, remember? Because I made part 1, part 2. Now I have to talk about conditionals, the third conditionals. So, but I am preparing the second part of present perfect. So stay tuned, subscribe, because pretty soon there will be another lesson about present perfect. Thank you so much, my friends, and I will see you tomorrow for another English lesson. Bye-bye!